So, I've been buying myself a lot more new things recently. Right here I have a nice set of wire strippers. I didn't even know they made these, but these are 20 to 30 gauge intended wire strippers. You can't actually see it at all, but the 30 gauge one is extremely small. That's like stripping wires from like an iPhone charging cable. Like, it's tiny, tiny, tiny wires. It's pretty nice to have this set. I'm definitely going to need this for soldering. It's going to be a lot easier with this. And over here we have a set of digital calipers. The original price for these was about 50 bucks, but my friend bought them earlier this week. He said that they were on sale, so I got these for around $25. They're pretty nice. The first set he got, it was defective, so we had to return it, so hopefully this one will actually work. But anyway, we're going to start off with unboxing the wire strippers. Just got an X-Acto knife, cut right down. Believe me, it's a lot easier with an X-Acto knife. Urgh. Come on, get out. Get out. Here we go. I hate those packages, but anyway. There's a little bit of a lock on the side here. It's pretty nice. The handle on it is kind of like definitely more smooth plastic, or kind of rubber-ish kind of plastic. Feels pretty good though. The actual handle base is a little bit wider than what I'm used to, but I think I like that because then you can do this more precisely and they're not so close together. Spring feels good. I'm sure they'll strip wires just fine. Alright, lock them back up. Let's get the calipers unboxed. Now this one does actually come with a proper nice blue case, so I don't want to scratch that up. Ooh, I just cut myself. Damn, these stupid plastic things. Did I get it? Please, you're opening. Yaha. What the heck is that? What's a spare battery? Right? Yeah, it's a spare battery. This one is a 6-inch caliper. Pretty good for what I'll be using. Because I think everybody that uses calipers only does it for like things that are less than an inch big. I really like that carrying case. Put it up like that. Alright, I've already felt these calipers before because my friend showed them to me. Let's see, I need to get a battery in there. Now the sliding mechanism isn't as smooth as other calipers I've used. Still pretty good though. It's pretty good. Alright, this clip is already 7 minutes long, so I should really cut it. So I'm sure a few of you remember a while back when I broke this roll cage for Scylla. This one weld right here up at the front, it broke, and this whole section right here bent back. Anyway, today I went over to one of the welding teachers at my school, asked if I could have him do this just as a favor, and sure enough he was okay with it. So check out that nice weld. I fined it up. Well, I shouldn't say I fined it up, but I made it more fine using a Dremel with a cutting disc. I just shaved more of that down so it'd be flat. So now I'm going to be reattaching this piece once again. Over here I've got some zip ties, and I'm just going to get this job done really quickly. And I'm going to move on to another project I'm going to be doing today. Alright, so it's going to be looking good again. And the other thing I'm going to be working on is this. So I have all these different fluids. I have super glue. Yeah, that's over here. Tire glue, which doesn't open anymore, unfortunately. There's also super glue remover, bunch of different differential and shock oils, and then right here I have white lithium grease. So anyway, whenever I just store them normally, all these bottles like to tip over, and then eventually they leak these fluids all over the surface, and it gets all sticky and yicky, and it's wasting fluid as well. I don't want that to happen, so anyway, I'm going to go into SketchUp and make little templates for these different bottles to sit inside of. So I could stick it inside this little plate that had a bunch of indents specified for each of these little bottles. So I just stick it in there, and they're going to stay upright. Now this process is going to be really easy for all these circular bottles. I just have to figure out the diameter and put that in to get the actual template. But over here we have something different. Obviously these bottoms are arced. So in SketchUp, what I'm going to do is grab the actual width of the entire thing and also the thickness, and then there's a tool called arc. Then I could just make all these curved edges for these bottles, and I don't think I should have too much trouble. So unfortunately, making those arcs was a lot more difficult than I thought, because they don't arc perfectly over corners, over 180-degree angles. So I would have to put circles in manually, and the measurement I took from the previous object would not be accurate. But this is what I cooked up. So this would be for the white lithium grease, and this would be all the shock oil and diff oil. So maybe sometime in the future I'll get this routed out on the CNC router at my school, made it out of acrylic, but I'll just have to see what happens with that. I have some other good news though. Earlier today I bought this RPM parts tray, but that's not a big deal. I was asking my electronics teacher for some soldering stuff, specifically just a little sponge like this, but he offered me one of these stands, so of course I took it. Now this soldering iron doesn't fit in here the best, obviously, but I don't really care. It is nonetheless still a stand, and I got my sponge so I can clean the tip of the soldering iron. Not too bad.